What's up, y'all, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna talk affordable makeup. I went through my collection and I pulled out this entire bin of drugstore makeup. It's everything that you can buy on like the affordable side of Ulta, Target, Walmart, Amazon, drugstores, things like that. None of this is from Sephora. None of this is luxury. None of this is high end. This is all affordable. So a lot of these are favorites. They're things that I have repurchased throughout the years. They're staples in my collection. Some of these are a little bit newer, but they're things that I have been reaching for over other products in my collection. So I just wanted to kind of showcase them off, give you an idea of what I love for me and my skin type and how I like to do my makeup. We do have some honorable mentions in here because obviously I cannot put all of this on my face. There's a lot in here, but I wanted to give you options. I like options. I like having that. So we're gonna do our makeup. I'm gonna give you some little mini reviews over these, why I love them, what I love about them, and we're gonna create this look you see right here. So if that sounds good to you, then stick around for the rest of the video. All right, so my hair is pulled back out of my face. Let's go ahead and jump into this. I've got everything laid out in front of me. We're gonna go ahead and start with primer. I did pull the NYX Plump Right Back primer. I love this. This is my second one. This is actually a fresh one that I got from Ulta at the beginning of this year for like my diamond rewards. So I threw out my old one because it was like really low. There wasn't a whole lot left and it was kind of looking a little funky, kind of how if you've ever seen the Milk Hydro Grip, how it changes color, it kind of did that a little bit. But this one's fantastic. It's very lightweight, very hydrating. It does kind of have like a plumping effect to the skin. Not like, it doesn't go in and fill everything. It just makes your skin look super healthy, super hydrated. It has a tiny bit of a tack to it, not nearly as much as another one of my favorites, the e.l.f. Pro Power Grip Primer, which is a new favorite to me. This one is definitely almost a complete dupe of the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip. This is a little bit tackier though, but if this is too tacky for you, go for this because it's beautiful. I love it. You can see it still has just a tiny bit of a tack, but not nearly as much as the e.l.f. But this one's fantastic. It feels so good on the skin. I absolutely love it. I recommend either one of these. They are beautiful. Okay. I love a dewy finish. I love a more glow to the skin. I'm not a fan of like a matte, and I'm not a fan of like a full-on glow, but something kind of in the middle. So I did pull one of my glow enhancers. This is my favorite one from the drugstore. There is another one up and coming. I'm gonna go ahead and mention it even though I haven't like fully reviewed it. I'm still testing it. I kind of have my final thoughts on it, but I want to test it a couple of other ways. But the one from Catrice, this is absolutely beautiful. One, the shade range is fantastic. They don't run nearly as yellow as like the e.l.f. does. That's one thing that I've noticed being more of a cooler undertone, is that even with the new shade range that they have, they still run very yellow. But this one, it's beautiful, it's stunning. I'm really loving it. So I highly recommend check this one out. It's like $9.99 on Amazon or on the Catrice website. But until that one came along, the L'Oreal Lumi Glotion had my heart. It's beautiful. This one has more of a pink undertone to it. This is the shade Fair. I know that they kind of repackaged, added in some newer shades, but this is the one that I've had for a while and I absolutely love this one. I put way too much on over here, but that's okay. We're just gonna kind of spread it out. I like to go in with a brush with these. I don't like to do it with a sponge. I just feel like it disperses better with a brush. But just look at how beautiful this is on the skin. I feel like this product was really before its time. Like, it's been around forever, and this is one of those I can wear on its own and just give my skin a good healthy glow. I can wear it under foundation. I can wear it as like a very subtle highlight, or I can mix it in with a more mattifying foundation as well. But it's beautiful. It doesn't disturb anything. It doesn't change the formula if I mix it in, and it doesn't change the wear time of my makeup either. But just Look at that beautiful glow, just healthy, beautiful. It doesn't leave a cast on my skin. Obviously, I can't speak to the other shades in the range. So if you have a deeper skin tone, and you've used those, and if you, like, wow. So if you have a deeper skin tone and you've used the other shades, and y'all, and if you've experienced something different, let me know down in the comments below. Wow. Don't worry about me. Don't worry about me. I have ADHD and a little bit of dyslexia, so sometimes my mouth just kind of runs ahead of my brain, or my brain runs ahead of my mouth. I don't know, but anyways, you catch my drift. You get what I'm saying. It is what it is. There's nothing I can do about it. But we're going to move on to foundation. So I have two different foundations sitting here in front of me, but I'm going to go in with my L'Oreal Infallible. This is one of my absolute favorites. I actually have two of these. This is the newer one. This is the old one. This is my second bottle of this one, but we're going to go in with this one because it's a better shade match for me. But this is the new, no, this is not the new one. This is the new one. This is the one that I want. This one's a better shade match for me. Get your life together, Sarah. But this is the newer reformulated version, and I did tell y'all in a speed review, I don't notice a difference, but this is shade 395. It's a beautiful foundation. It's more on like the high medium coverage, so it's not quite a full, but it's not a true medium either. It's just such a beautiful foundation. It's got like a, not a full-on matte finish, but it's got more of like a skin-like finish to it. It's a really good foundation from the drugstore. I love this one so, so much. L'Oreal does really well with their complexion products. But another one, if you're more interested in like the skin tint side of things, you want something with a little bit of a lighter coverage, the CoverGirl Simply Ageless Skin Perfector Essence that came out earlier this year is beautiful. Absolutely stunning. One, it's almost a dupe for the Chanel Le Beige Water Fresh tint, which is one of my absolute favorite skin tints. And even though this is like almost $23 after tax and everything, it's still a fraction of the price of that. So if you're wanting that effect, you're wanting this fun little color capsule thing with the airless pump, all that jazz, I highly recommend that one. It's beautiful. I love it. Now, if you're new here and this is your first time watching my video, I want to take this time to let you know that I am 38 years old. I do live in a very humid climate. I'm down here in Houston, Texas. I have normal dry leaning skin. It has been changing rapidly over the past year, year and a half. I used to have really oily skin. I did my entire life. And now that I'm getting closer to 40, I've noticed it doesn't get quite as oily. I get a little bit more dry. So we're going to see what it does this summer. But right now it's more normal, sometimes dry leaning. And I also prefer a light to medium coverage foundation with a more skin-like finish to it. I don't like anything too glowy. I don't like anything super matte. I'm kind of like a middle of the road type girl. So keep that in mind when I'm going over these products because they go more with my skin type. So if you have more of an oily skin type, some of these may not work for you. Some of these will because I've had them for a very long time in my collection, but just keep that in mind. I like to let you know. But this is what the complexion's looking like. We're looking very good. The shade match is fantastic. We're gonna go in with concealer. We're going to go in with the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer. I love this. I've been using this for years. I don't even know how many I've been through at this point, but it's really nice. I absolutely love it. I hate the delivery system of it. It's gross. It's disgusting. You can see like whenever it gets down really low, it's just gross. You can take this off and just kind of go in with like the little tube that sticks out the top, but I did that once and I found myself making a bigger mess than I normally would, so I actually ended up throwing that one away and just repurchasing it. But this is nice. It's not too creamy, it's not too drying, it's just a really good almost full coverage concealer under the eye. I mean, it could probably give a little bit more coverage if you needed it, but for me it works. I don't have a whole lot of darkness that I'm trying to cover up. I just want to add a little bit more brightness to my under eye, but this one is beautiful. I really enjoy it. Another concealer that I discovered not too long ago, I do have it in one of my speed review videos, is the NYX Pro Fix Stick. This is amazing. I was so impressed with this because I was expecting it to be really drying and kind of drag across the skin, but it is so creamy. It's so lightweight and beautiful. It's more full coverage than this one is. It's a beautiful product. I really love it. It's also less expensive than the Maybelline, but I really love both of them. But this one I've been using for years, so I figured that's the one that we would use. That's the one that we would talk about. But let's go ahead and move on to bronzer because we need to put a little bit of color back in this skin. Now, I did pull cream and powder of both bronzer and, yes, bronzer and blush, but I didn't pull both for highlighters just because I don't have like a drugstore liquid highlighters. There's not a whole lot at the drugstore and at a more affordable price point. But let's jump into bronzer. I'm gonna go in with the Milani Cheek Kiss. This is in shade Hey Honey. This one came out, I don't know if it came out earlier this year, but I discovered it this year, and this is beautiful. This is a very, very close dupe to the NARS Laguna cream bronzer. It's just beautiful. It sinks into the skin. I love the tone of this, and it's so easy to work with. It's not like overly creamy. It's not very emollient. It's a good cream. I don't know how else to describe it, but it just melts into the skin. It doesn't disturb the makeup underneath. You can do this over powder as well, so if you'd rather do it that way, you definitely can. And it doesn't have a fragrance to it, but it's beautiful. I've really enjoyed this. But another one that I love, I fell for this one really hard. It's the Physicians Formula Butter Glow, what is it, the Contour Wand. This is beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. It's like the perfect formula. There's only 2 shades of it, so that's kind of a downfall of it, but either of those 2 shades work for you and you want something very similar to like the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Contour Wand, this one is the best affordable one that I found. But like I said, the shade range is not that great, and it is very fragranced. It smells exactly like the butter bronzer, so if you're not a fan of fragrance, I would steer away from that one. So this is what that bronzer looks like on. Very beautiful. I love the shade of it. Let's move on to blush. I pulled 2 different liquid blushes. I pulled the e.l.f. Camo Liquid Blush, and I pulled the Juvia's Place Liquid Blush. We're going to go in with the e.l.f. simply because of the shade today. I'm not wearing anything. The eyeshadow palette I pulled, this isn't going to go with very well, but we're going to go in with this one. This is in the shade, gosh, they make this so small, Dusty Rose. This is a really nice formula. It's affordable, it's pigmented. It's not as pigmented as the Juvia's Place or even the Rare Beauty, but it lays so nicely on the skin. It looks absolutely beautiful, and it wears really well. You can put this on over powder as well. I always make sure that my cream products can go over and under powder because sometimes I just love to put them over powder. You know, you want to make sure that it's versatile. But that is what the shade looks like. It has a little bit of a sheen to it. It's not a glowy blush, but it's not a full-on matte. It does dry down. It doesn't leave a sticky feeling to it. And the shade range is really nice. They have so many different shades in this, and I really enjoy it. But I also enjoy the Juvia's Place one as well. I like the regular version versus the glowy version better, but these are so super pigmented. Like, half a dot is more than enough. It's more than you need, but it is a beautiful formula. They're both very affordable, and I like them. I love a liquid blush. It's one of my absolute favorites to wear. But this is what we're looking like. We've got some color back into us. I think we're gonna go ahead and set the face now. So I did pull 2 different powders. I went in, these are actually both newer to me, but we're going to go in with the Maybelline Fit Me because it's been around a lot longer and a lot more people seem to love this. It is a little bit more on the mattifying side, but if I go in very lightly, I can definitely use it on my skin. But if you want to have more of that mattifying effect, I suggest going in with like a velour poof or something like that. and setting it, but I'm just gonna go in with a brush. We're gonna do a light dusting under the eyes. Where is, I'm missing a brush for this. There it is. I'm gonna go in with a light dusting of this. Just kind of set my face, get rid of any kind of tackiness that I have left. But this is a beautiful powder. I understand the hype. I'm so upset that I slept on it for so long, but it's beautiful. Another powder that I want to mention that I don't have sitting right here in front of me because mine got old, and I always say that powder products don't expire, it doesn't seem. Let me tell you, if you've ever had a Coty airbrush powder that is like well over 10 years old, it turns. And I don't know how to describe it because it doesn't like start to smell really bad, but it kind of starts to cake up on the skin and grab funky in places. I love that powder. I absolutely do. It has a very, very strong smell, but for me, it's a very nostalgic smell. It reminds me of my grandmother. I don't know if she used it. I was very young when she passed, so I don't know if she used it or not, but the smell of it just reminds me of her. But I love that powder. I just don't have one. But this one's beautiful. Another one that I do have sitting here in front of me, and I do really enjoy, but I've been using it a lot more lately, so I went ahead and brought this one out, is the e.l.f. Halo Glow Powder. I really enjoy this. It has a little bit of a sheen to it, which I don't mind because I am on the drier side, but it just sets everything down so beautifully, and it just looks nice on the skin. It doesn't overly mattify. Like right now I'm feeling very matte, but that's okay. We're gonna fix it. But it just looks beautiful. It holds up really nicely. It's affordable. It's actually less than the Maybelline, so another good option. I'm really sorry if you can hear the lawnmowers going on outside. He's early. He doesn't usually come. He usually comes on Thursdays actually, but I apologize if you can hear it. Okay, now we are powdered. Let's move on. I'm gonna go in with a powder bronzer as soon as I find this hair that's floating around in my face. Okay, powder bronzer. I pulled the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. It's an OG, it's a goodie, it's a classic. Everybody loves this. It is fragranced. I love the fragrance. I really do. I don't mind a fragrance in my products as long as it's not like a bad smell, like a chemically smell. I don't mind artificial fragrance in mine at all. But I'm gonna go in with just a fluffy brush and we're going to apply this. I love it. It looks beautiful on the skin. There's a reason it's been around as long as it has. And I know now they have like different shades in this. I just have the original shade. It works for me. It's not too dark, it's not too orange. It just adds a nice bronze to the skin, but it is matte. So if you want a bronzer with a sheen, this is probably not going to be the best one, but I do really like this one. This is actually the only affordable powder bronzer that I have. If you have any suggestions of other ones, maybe with a little bit of a sheen to it, let me know. And if you have any other affordable makeup suggestions, let me know. I'm really on like the affordable makeup train lately. I'm loving it, especially with as expensive as things have gotten, because even drugstore makeup isn't nearly as expensive as it used to be. I was going through and like linking these things and finding all these products, and I was blown away at how much some of these are now compared to how much they were when I bought them. But yeah, it is what it is at this point. Everything's expensive. Let's do some blush. So I pulled a ColourPop blush. This is in the shade Prairie Air. I love this one. This one is a very, very close dupe to the Dior. Probably the closest dupe that I have found. It doesn't quite have the same sheen as the Dior one has, but it has the same vibe. It's gonna give you that pinky cheek, and it's beautiful. And also, I did mention this in my blush collection video, but Dior reformulated all their blushes, and from what I understand, the new formulation sucks. We're just gonna put it that way. It's not good, it's not great. I have the Dior blush, but I have the older formula and I love it. So that's really disappointing because I wanted to get more shades in it because I loved it so much, and I just have no interest anymore. But beautiful, I love it. I love the shade. I've been really into pink lately, which is very not me. I've always been more on like the warmer, muted side of things, like colors like this, oranges, mauves, things like that. But lately I've really been enjoying pinks, and I think that they go better on my skin. But this is a good one. I really like this. These are not very expensive. I can't remember how much they are. Everything will be linked and listed down below per usual. But yeah, so let's go ahead and we're gonna move on to highlighter. I have two different highlighters sitting here in front of me. We're gonna play with the Maybelline Master Chrome because I adore this highlighter. It is absolutely beautiful. It's affordable. All of this is affordable. I don't know why I keep saying it's affordable, but this is such a good highlighter. I have the, I think this is the champagne one. They don't put the shades on here, and if they did, it was probably on a sticker that I peeled off. But yeah, this is beautiful. Let me show you what this looks like on the skin. It is a little on like the dusty side, but it doesn't look dusty on the skin. It just has a beautiful blinding glow. Like that's just a little bit of it, but I can build it up. Let me show you how it builds up. Also, another good trick, I'm going to show you on the other side. I found this out by playing around. If you pick it up on your brush, spray it with some setting spray like you would an eyeshadow, it just adds more of like a metallic effect to it, and it really amps up that shine. Like, look at that. So that's with the setting spray, and over here is without, but this is beautiful. I love, love, love this highlighter. I used to have the rose gold one, and I think it's shattered or something. I don't know. I don't have it anymore. I know that. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. But an honorable mention is the ColourPop Super Shock highlighters. These are beautiful. They're not my favorite formula in the whole world, but they are a really nice one. For me, I prefer to go in with these with my finger, just kind of swirl it around and then tap it over top, and then go back with a clean finger and kind of blend it out. But they're beautiful. It's a really good formula. My biggest issue with these as to why I don't like them as much as a lot of people do, these dry out. They dry out very fast, especially if you don't put your lid on all the way, and they're inconsistent. Katie, no. Sorry, Katie gets a little perturbed by the, Katie, stop, by the yard people. So, but anyways, what was I saying? Oh, they're not very consistent as to which ones dry out and which ones don't. Some of them dry out really fast. I've had some of these for years and they don't dry out. And then I've had others that I've had for just a few months and they dry out. So that's my biggest gripe with them. It's not really a formula thing at all. It's just the fact that they don't all last a very long time. Some of them do, some of them don't, but it is what it is. Okay, let's go ahead and set this face. Let's kind of add a little bit of hydration back to the skin, mesh everything together. I pulled the NYX the Marshmallow Setting Spray. Love this, love this, love this. This is a newer one on the market. It did drop this year, but this is beautiful. I'm actually almost done with it. If I hold it up, it's like down to here. I will repurchase this 110%. All right. It has a very aggressive mister, but it's not so aggressive that it leaves water droplets on the makeup. It doesn't disturb anything. It just sets everything in place, holds it in place. It says it's a matte finishing spray, but I haven't noticed that it really mattifies my skin. Maybe it just means it like holds oils at bay, but for me, it just meshes everything together and extends the wear time of my makeup. But another one that I absolutely love and I don't have in front of me because I finished it and I'm trying to finish the one that it's a dupe for. I know, I hate the word dupe, I really do, but it's also the best word for it. But just keep in mind that when I use the word dupe, I don't mean it's an exact replica of it, but it is the closest thing that you're gonna get. And that is the Milani Make It Last setting spray. And it's a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless, whatever it is, the Charlotte Tilbury setting spray. It's a dupe for that. It's way more affordable, and honestly, I like it better. I have the Charlotte Tilbury. It's not my favorite, but I want to use it up before I rebuy that, because I know if I rebuy the Milani, I won't use the Charlotte Tilbury, and that's too expensive to let it go bad. Liquid products go bad, so that's another really good one as well. But this one I love. Like I said, it works really well, and it smells like sweet marshmallows, like candied marshmallows. I love this one. Okay, complexion's done. Let's go ahead and move on to brows. I don't have an affordable brow pencil that I like. I have never found one that works really well for me. They're usually too waxy, but I do have my NYX Thick It Stick It Brow Gel. I love, love, love this one. I use it very often. It's one of my favorites. I have repurchased it time and time again. And for me, I can just go in and kind of brush through my brows with it. It adds some color, holds them in place, gives them a little bit of volume, and it's perfect. I don't have to do a whole lot of shaping and filling in with my brows because I do have them microbladed on, but I usually have to go in and add back in some color because the foundation, the powder, all of that has just muted them down a little bit. I do like to use a brow pencil sometimes to kind of add some little hairs in the front where they fade a little bit more coloring, things like that. But since I don't have one, we're just gonna go in with this. It does the job, and I love it. It's a staple product of mine. It's one that I will always have in my collection, no matter what. Brows are done. Let's move on to lips because I need to get something on these lips. They're feeling very, very dry. So I went ahead and pulled my e.l.f. lip liner. I love this lip liner. It's newer to the market, but it's a fantastic release from the brand. I do have another one from NYX, and I'm just not a big fan of it. I have one from ColourPop. I enjoy the formula of it, but it's falling apart. So because it's falling apart, I can't really justify putting it in as a favorite, but this one is so good. I don't know the shade name because it's not on here. I don't remember. I will try to look it up and put the shade down in the description box if it kind of sparks something and rings a bell, but these are so good. They're pigmented, they're not overly creamy, but they glide on beautifully and they last like all day. All right, let's go in with the lipstick. I pulled two different ones because these are my two favorite drugstore formulas. I do have one that's newer that I'm really enjoying, but I can't count that as a favorite yet. But I have the Milani, what are these called? I don't even know what these are called, but this is in the shade Tease. It's a beautiful, beautiful formula. I love the color of this. I don't think it's gonna go very well with this lip liner, so I did pull another one that is another one of my absolute favorite formulas, and it's the ColourPop Glowing Lip Formula, not the blotted lip, but the glowing lip. This is in the shade La Cienega, and these are just, they are so glossy, so hydrating on the lips, and they're one of those that after they kind of warm up to your body, they just mesh a little bit better. They don't sink into the lines on my lips. They don't accentuate texture or anything like that. They're very comfortable. They're kind of like a lipstick gloss hybrid, and I really enjoy it. Plus, I love this color. I think it's beautiful. I don't have an affordable gloss that I'm in love with. I want to try the CoverGirl Yummy glosses or whatever, but I haven't yet. I just don't have an affordable gloss that I'm in love with. I have ones that I like and ones that are pretty, but not anything that I'm in love with. So if you have any suggestions, per usual, let me know down in the comments. I love to hear from y'all. I love to hear what y'all have to say. But this is the lips. Let's move on to eyes. Let's go ahead and start with eye primer. I pulled out my e.l.f. eye primer. This isn't bad. It's really not a bad eye primer at all. You just don't get a whole lot of product in here at all. I think it's like $3, so it's not bad. But if you were to use this as like your main eyeshadow primer, you would go through this like crazy. You would have to buy so many of these at one time, and I'm just not here for that. But I mean, I've said it before, if you're in an emergency situation and, you know, maybe you're on vacation and you ran out of eyeshadow primer or you forgot it or whatever, this is a good backup. It holds everything in place, it lasts, it has like a kind of powdery finish to it. It doesn't have a whole lot of color, so it's not going to conceal a whole lot on the lids, but it works really nicely. Okay, for eyeshadow, I pulled two different eyeshadow palettes because these are two of my favorites in my collection as far as just a good everyday eyeshadow palette goes. They're good formulas, they're affordable, they're kind of my go-tos if I don't want to think too much about it and I just want to put a little something on my eyes. And so I pulled out the Juvia's Place Nubian 3 Coral palette and the ColourPop Going Coconuts. I love this one. It's absolutely beautiful. It's just a good neutral eyeshadow palette. I love it. It's beautiful. It does have a pressed shimmer or a pressed glitter in here right in the middle, but it's a really nice pressed glitter, so it doesn't bother me. But then the Juvia's Place Nubian 3 Coral, this is beautiful. This is the one that we're going to play with today. I love the color story in here. It's perfect for spring, summer, even into fall. I love the peaches in here. I love just the neutrality of this palette. It's beautiful. This is the one that we're going to play with. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up a Morphe M453 brush. It's an affordable brush brand. I still have a few of these left. These are actually really good. They're not as good as like some of the other brushes that I have in my collection, like Sigma or even my Singe Beauty brushes, bling brushes, things like that. But for an affordable brand, these are really good, and so are the I can't think of the word. I'll put them down below. But we're gonna go ahead, Katie. We're gonna pause. All right, we're back from our little bark break. I did look up the brushes. It's the Real Technique brushes. Those are really good. But I don't remember where I was, so we're just gonna jump back into this. We're gonna go in with the Nubian 3 Coral eyeshadow palette, and I'm gonna start with this shade right here. These don't have shade names. It's one of the things I don't like, but that's okay. I mean, that's only important if you're trying to tell somebody what colors to use. But I'm gonna go in with my Morphe M453 brush, and I'm gonna put this into the crease of my eye, or my lid, gosh. I'm just gonna do a very light, airy look, something very everyday wearable, nothing too crazy bold, but just more showcasing the formula, because I've had other Juvia's Place palettes before and they are all really good. They're consistent across the board, and that's my one thing about ColourPop, is they're not very consistent. Some of their palettes are better than others. Their collabs tend to be better than their regular palettes. Some of them are just a little bit more dusty. The color payoff isn't as great, so you kind of have to, I don't know, just kind of shoot your shot and get what you get with ColourPop. But for the most part, like I would say 90% of their eyeshadow palettes are really nice. It's just the few every now and then that are not the best. All right, I'm gonna dig into this shade right here and just deepen this up a little bit, add a little more color. I'm gonna take the same brush. I just cleaned it off on my Sigma switch over here. Love this thing. And I'm just going to tap into there and put this right here in the outer corner, bringing in a little bit more color, a little bit more depth. But I'm not taking this very far over. I'm just going in with very light brush strokes, just swirling, blending, keeping it very like soft. I'm gonna take that same color with that same brush and just sweep it right under my lower lash line, giving a little bit of color down here. I'm not going in super precise. I'm just picking it up and fluffing it out. All right, so I'm gonna go into this deep brown shade right here with a blinged brush E22, and I'm just going to very lightly put this in my outer corner, adding just a tiny bit of depth. I am just doing very light swirls, kind of blending and building. I'm not tapping, I'm not going in crazy. I'm just adding the tiniest bit of depth. I took that same color and I just kind of brushed it right here on the outer like fourth of my waterline, just to kind of bring everything in a little bit of a cohesive look. Let's do a shimmer. So I'm gonna go in with my NYX glitter primer. I'm gonna tap this on my lids. I absolutely adore this. I use this with every single shimmer that I put on my lids, unless I'm testing something new or anything like that. But this is just the best one that I have ever found. I've tried other ones before, and this is just, it's absolutely the best. You get so much product. It is very affordable. It's been around forever. And it's just, it's a good one. It's an oldie but a goodie. It's reliable and it works with every shimmer ever. Okay, so for this look, I'm gonna go in with this shade right here. It's just a really beautiful like copper shimmer shade. So I'm just gonna pick it up on my finger and I'm gonna tap this onto my lid, and I'm gonna kind of lightly disperse it into that outer corner, and I'm going to bring it over to about right there, leaving that little inner third open because I'm going to go in with a lighter shade. Alright, so that's what the lid is looking like. Let's go ahead and put something a little lighter and brighter on that inner portion of my eye. So I'm going to go in with this shimmer shade down here, just this really pretty like peachy shimmer. I love this color. It's so pretty. I'm going to pick this up with a Morphe M213 brush, and I am going to spray it. Normally, I spray all of my shadows with my MAC Fix Plus, but since we're doing an affordable look, we're going to go in with the NYX Marshmallow spray. I'm just going to pop that right in here. I'm going to go back in with my finger and just a little bit of that product, and I'm just going to very lightly kind of mush those two shades together, kind of giving them a nice soft gradient. We don't want any harsh lines. We just want a nice softness between the two. Alright, for an eyeliner, I don't have an affordable one that's going to go with this look. All of my like browns and stuff are more high end, but I do want to mention my two favorite affordable eyeliners, and they are the ColourPop and the NYX Epic Wear liners. These are amazing. I use these all the time. I love the color variety of them. Between the two brands, you can get just about every single color you could possibly want. The ColourPop website definitely has a lot more options than Ulta does, and pretty much every shade that NYX has is on the Ulta website as well. But I'm going to go ahead and use this dark brown as an eyeliner. Actually, no, we're going to use this one right here next to it, this kind of shimmer brown as an eyeliner, because I want to keep this affordable and I don't have a pencil eyeliner that's going to go with this. So I'm just going to go in with an angled brush. This one is from Bling Brushes. It's an E27, and I'm going to go into that shade and I'm just going to tightline my lid. And then I'm also going to pop this into my waterline as well, just keeping it very tight to my lashes, a little bit of a definition. I wear an eyeliner with every single look that I do, so it feels really weird not to have one because I kind of went back and forth, but yeah, that looks so much better. I'm gonna do the other eye real quick. Alright, so the eye look is complete. Let's go ahead and go in with some mascara. Now, I have the e.l.f. Lash and Roll Mascara. This is one of the, actually it's the only drugstore mascara that I have right now. I've tried a lot of them before and I just don't like them. They don't hold up to my sensitive eyes. They don't hold up to my watery eyes. They kind of irritate them. I have tried the L'Oreal Paradise Lash before, and I do really enjoy that formula, but the wand is a little big, so I've just never repurchased it. But I do really like this one. This one does perform just like the Benefit Roller Lash. So it's a good one. It's lengthening. It's not super volumizing or anything like that, but it definitely gives some definition to the lashes and a little bit of length, which is usually what I go for. I can kind of make volume work with any mascara. I don't like them to be too voluminous. I don't like them to take over my eye. I just want some extra length, but that is what the mascara looks like. Let me kind of get in a little bit closer so you can see this is what the Lash and Roll looks like. It's affordable. It's a really nice formula. I really enjoy it. All right, y'all, so this is going to complete this look using nothing but affordable makeup, and I love the way this turned out. This eye look is beautiful. I really, really love this eyeshadow palette. It's such a good one in my collection. I love Juvia's Place, but let me know what you think. Were you surprised by any of the products that I pulled? Are some of these your favorites as well? What are your favorites from the drugstore or the more affordable section? Let me know if you have any recommendations or just what some of your favorites are. I want to know. Let's have that conversation. Light up that comment section down below. And as usual, I want to thank you all so much for watching my video and spending your time with me. It means so, so much to me. And if you did like this video, please give it a big thumbs up before you leave. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click on that notification bell so that you can be notified of all my future posts here on my channel. I do post quite a few videos every week, most days, if not every single day, and I wouldn't want you to miss one. But until my next video, have a good one. Bye.